Boker or Masechet Gittin Daf Samechet Amud Aleph 68a1 says the Gemara. We were just speaking about how Rav Sheshat got out of this problem, and now says the Gemara. We're a few lines down where it says Kikanafik. We are 2, 4, 6, 8 lines down. Kikanafik, right when Rav Sheshat was going out, Karu lebira v'shadu letzipata ilaveh. Right, they went and they dug a bore and they covered it. Everyone understood what happened? They dug a pit and they covered it. So that way when he walks by, whoops, he just fell in. The Amrile, and they told Rav Sheshat, Leitu Molenach, right? Why don't you come and you lie down on one of these beds? Because Rav Sheshat was blind. So therefore, he's going to fall on the way to the bed. That's why his senses were so strong and he was able to feel the food. He was very, very smart. Nechal le Rav Chasta me'achoreh. Rav Chasta was behind him. He made a voice of a nechila, like of an animal, in order to come and to show him that there's a sakara in front of him. Amar le'yenuka, he told the child, tell me a pasuk that you're learning. Amar he told him, netelecha al yeminecha or al simulecha, which means go to your right or onto your left. It's a pasuk. The pasuk is in Shmuel Bet. Amar le'shameh, he comes and he tells the shamash, my kachazit, what do you see? Amar he tells him, tzipita deshadia, I see like a carpet on the ground. Amarle, he says, Hadar mine, right? Go away from there and go around it. Levatar denafak, after he went out of the Resh Galuta, Amarle Rav Chasta, says Rav Chasta, Menahava yadam mor. How do you know that to take away the machzelet? How do you know to take away the carpet and underneath was the pit in order to drop you down? Amarle, he says, Chada denachali mor. One of them because you made the sound, so I knew. Ve'od, and also the pasuk. The pasuk, the odd, and furthermore, these people are not kosher people. Sometimes you have people that are the biggest tzaddikim, but the shamashim, Hashem yishmor. Hashem yishmor. Yeah. By the way, asiti li sharim v'sharot v'ta'anugot b'nei adam. Shida v'shidot. Yeah, ze sheker. Katuv ze l'umat ze bara Elokim. Right, there has to be ze l'umat ze. If there's not ze l'umat ze, that means there's a problem. That means it's kulo lo kadosh. Sharim v'sharot elu mine zemer. When it says different songs, it means we're talking about instruments. Tanugo b'nei adam elu berechot u'merchatzaot. We're talking about bathhouses and pools. Shida v'shidot. Right? Hacha targimu shede v'shitim. Ashed zachar and shed nekeva. B'marav amre in Marava they said. And then it's Yisrael, they said shidata, which is like an agala, which carries like caravans, which they carry the men and the women, okay, or the women that they're coming, right? The Misarim. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, do you know 300 mine shedim ayub b'shichim? Do you know there were 3 different types of shedim in shichim? V'sheda atzman yodia mahi, but I still don't know what the sheda is. What a sheda is, right? So imagine, you look how many shedim there was. There was a city that was called Shichim and Borot because there were so many shedim there. But I still don't know what a sheda is. Amar more says, Hachi tagimu sheda v'shitin. Pavel, they said there's a shed zachar and shed nekeva. Sheda v'shitin, yemai bale. So why do you need a male and a female? Tichti v'abai bibanoto even shlema masad nivna v'chule. What does that mean? The Mikdash was going to be built from avanim shlemot. And Amar le'ul Rabbanan, Shlomo said to the rabbis, Hechi avid, how am I going to make it? How am I going to build the Bet HaMikdash without using a kli barzel? How do you build something without using metal? How do you cut the stones? Elmaleh says, Ika Shemira, Daiti Moshe Levnefod. There's a Shamir. Shemira al Shamir. The Shamir, what Moshe Rabbeinu used to cut the Avnei Ephod, right? It's like a laser. Elmaleh, he said, how am I going to find it? Amrule, they told him, Aiti Shedav Shidatan, Kavshinu Adadi. Go conquer, right? A shed and a sheda. Efshad Yadu Maga, maybe they know, they're going to tell you where it is. Aitu Shedav Shidatan, Kavshinu Adadi, conquer them, right? Amrule, they said, Anu, we don't know. Maybe Ashmedai Melech, he knows. Ashmedai was the king of the Shedim. Amar lehu, he told Shlomo Melech told him, where's Ashmedai? Amri Levi said, Ite Betura Plan. He's in a certain mountain. Kade lebira. There he dug a pit. Umale mala, he filled it up with water. Umekasia, right, and he covered it. Betinara vechat migushpanka, and he covered it with a stone. And he signed it, he sealed it. Every single day he goes up to the rakia and he learns in the Shemaim. And then he comes down and he teaches it in the world. And then he looks for his gushpanka. Then he unplugs it and he drinks. Then he goes, he covers it, and he goes. So you understand that he's looking for a sign. If he sees that something moved, he already knew that something was wrong. So Shadre Benayahu ben Yoyada, he said Benayahu ben Yoyada, Yahiv leshushilta dechakika leshem. He took a shalshelet, chains that had the name of Hashem on it. He's cut the kakika leshem, and he took a tabat, right? There was also chakuka leshem Hashem. Vegabe de amra vezaki de chamra, and he took gizet semer, right, and nodot yain. Azal kara bira mitatai. So what happened was Benayahu went to the mountain of this. I'm just going to call him Ash, right? But it's a full name. Some people say you shouldn't actually say the name of the Melech Hashadim because it gives them power. So you don't say it, right? What happened is that he opened up a small opening, ushfinu lemaya, and he took out all the mayim. V'satminu begavai da'imran. Then he covered it up with wool. V'kara bida me'elai. Then he went and he put another, right? Another mountain, like he made another board, right? V'shavchinu lechamra, and he put wine in it, right? And then what happened was that the wine went into the pit of Ashmedai through the little entrance. Utminu, and then he was sotemedze. Sali kiati bilana. Then he went and he was waiting in a tree. Kiata, when this Ash came, the king of the demons came, Sale legushpanka, he checked, right? And then what happened, right? Gali ashkeche chamra. He opened it up and he found wine. Amar, he said to himself, K'tiv, it's written, Letz hayayin omesh echad v'chol shogebo lo yechkam. Right? What does that mean? It's a pasuk that somebody that's going to come and become like crazy, it's like he's drinking wine. He's going to lose all the chokhmah, right? Because the shikor doesn't have the chokhmah. Uchtiv zinut yayin v'tiro shikach lev. And it's written also that the zinut v'yayin, right, immorality in wine, is going to take away your heart. Right? These are three things. So it's talking about, znut and all these. Lo ishte, he didn't drink it. Kitzachi lo sagele. But when he was already too thirsty, he didn't know what to do anymore. What's he going to do? He's too thirsty. Ishte rava vegana. So he drank, he got drunk, and what happened? And he fell asleep. Nachi tata, Benayahu came down from the tree. Shada beshushilta satme. He threw on him the chains, and he closed it around his neck. Right? So that way his head could not come out of it. When he got up, Havakami Parzel, right? He started becoming Mishtagea. Amarle, he tells him, Shema de Mara Alach, Shema de Mara Alach. What? The name of Hashem is on you. The name of Hashem is on you. What does that mean? He's saying, what are you doing? Right? The name of Hashem is there. You could go crazy. You could do whatever you want. You won't be able to get out. You could do whatever. You won't be able to get out. Kinaki leve'ati. When Benayahu was grabbing Ash, this guy, and taking him to Yerushalayim, Mata Dikla, they passed by a dekel, Chaf Beshadia, right? This guy came and he put down the tree. Mata Lebete Shadia, when they passed by a house, he threw it down. Mata Gebekuba Dayar Melata, they went by a little, not a tent, a tzrif. How do you say a tzrif? It's like a shack. A little tiny, like mamash, like a little thing, right? Of a woman, of an almanah. Nafka, she came out. Masechet Mubet, 68b. And she went and she said, please do not destroy my house. Right? He went and he bent down. Right? And what happened was, because he bent down, so it broke one of his bones. He says that's what it means in the pasuk, that somebody that speaks with Lashon Rakah, if they come and they speak so nicely, it's going to break bones. Meaning the fact that the almanah came, because he was just walking by, he was just taking everything down with him. Right? He was Ores Kol Davar on the way. So he was going to destroy this house. And she comes out and she says, please don't destroy the house, the shack. So he didn't do it. He saw a suma, a blind person, that he was making a mistake on the way. He put him back on the path. He saw Shikor that was making a mistake. He put him back on the path. He saw Achnasat Kala, and they were having a lot of simcha. He started crying. He heard a person telling a sanlar, make me how do you call it, shoes that are going to be for 7 years. Achich, he started laughing. Chazahu kasama davakasim achich. He saw kosem that he was doing all these, like how do you call it, like a magician. He started laughing. Kimata lahatam, when he got there, lo alu legabet Shlomo atat. He didn't go into Shlomo Melech for 3 days. Yom hakama amalu, the first day they told Ash, amalu kabayli malka legabe. So why didn't the king come to me? Amrule, they told him, anse nishtaya. He drank too much wine. Shakal leventa otiva chaverta. So he went, he took a levena, and he put it on top of another one. Atu amru Shlomo, they told Shlomo what he did. Amalehu, he says, this is what he told you. Hadu rashkuyu, give him to drink again. Lamachar, the next day, Amalehu, why didn't Shlomo Melech come? Amrule, they told him, anse nichle, he ate too much. Shakal leventim chaverta otiva ara. He went and he took it, right, and he put it on the ground. Meaning he already had 2 stones, one on top of the other. He put it on the ground. After they went and they told Shlomo, Amrule, they told him, this is what he told you. Negidu mine mechle. Stop him from eating. Give him to eat only a little bit. So at the end of the 3 days, he came in front of him. So he took a kaneh, he measured it, that it had 4 amot, and he threw it in front of Shlomo. Amarle, and he told him, do you know when Shlomo Melech is going to die, he's only going to have 4 amot for a keved. 4 amot for a keved. Meaning he was telling Shlomo Melech, you should know, when a person passes away, he only has 4 amot. Now he could be the king over the entire world, but he only has 4 amot. Now you conquer the entire world, and you're not going to be satiated until you conquer me as well. Meaning he comes and he tells them, listen, at the end of the day, when a person dies, they only get 4 amot. You already have the entire world. Now you need me as well. Amarle, he told them, I don't want anything from you. I want to build the Bet HaMikdash. I need the Shamir. Amarle, he says, I don't have it. But it's only to the Sara the Yam. And the Sara Yam didn't give it to anybody except for Tarnegola Bar, to a certain type of a Tarnegol. He's very ne'eman on his shvuah. So what does the Tarnegola Bar do with the Shamir? He's waiting from on a mountain that there's nobody there, that it doesn't have anything there. And he puts the Shamir on the top of the mountain. And the har breaks open, right? Because of it has lasers, right? It breaks it open. And the Tanegol, he comes and he takes all these zraim of the ilanot and he puts it into the charitz, right? And all of a sudden, ilanot starts growing. They have a yishuv, and all of a sudden it becomes a yishuv, right? And that's where the Tanegola Bar gets food from. That's where he's going to get food from. That's why they come and they actually say, right, between the off, which is called the duchifat, nagar tura. What is nagar tura? Nagar tura, he comes and he says, is, right, it's a Tarnegola Bar. Why? It's talking about a tzipor. But really, be'emet, it's mashma that it's actually the Tavasa Bar. Why? Because it's actually of the mountains. Because he's creating a mountain. He's creating that there's going to be all of a sudden a whole bunch of things on the mountain. Badku, Kina de Tarnegola Bar, Tadita Le Bene. So the Shluchei Shlomo, they went and they started checking until they found a ken of a Tarnegol that had a frochim. And when the Tarnegola Bar was not there, they put a zchuchit shkufa. Right? They put a glass, which was see-through. Ki ata, when he came, ba'u le'me'al, he wanted to go into the ken, velo matzi, he wasn't able to. Azil aiti shemina, so what did he do? He brought the shamir, ve'ot ve'ilave, and he put it on top of the zechuchit, to break the zechuchit. Rami be'kala, right? The shaliach went and he started screaming. The shadye, he threw the shamir, the shakle, and he took him. Azal chanak nafshe shvuoteh. The Tarnegola Bar went and he killed himself because he went against the shavua on the Sahor Shel Yam. Look at this story, right? Amaleh Benayahu, says Benayahu Tashmedai. Mai tama ki chazita le'usamya dahava katai beorcha sikte leorche. He says, why when you saw the suma, did you come and you put him back on the path? What do you care about the suma, the blind person? Amaleh, he says, mechrezeh lebirkiya de tzadik gamurhu. In the Rakia and the Shemayim, they said he was a tzadik gamur. Umanda velenicha nafsheh Somebody that doesn't know ruach to him will get olam haba. So why when you saw the shikor, you put him on the path? Right? What? Yeah, the shikor for sure is not a tzaddik gamur. Elmaleh, he says, he was the opposite. He was a rasha gamur. So therefore, we have to do good things to him in this world, so he doesn't get the next world. He doesn't get olam haba. Why is it when you saw the simchat kala v'chuppah, you started crying? He says, I know that the chatan is going to have to die within 30 days. And she has to wait for a yavam katan for 13 years. He was just born. So she has to wait 13 years, right, to do yibum. So why is it when you heard that the guy went and he told the sandlar, how do you call sandlar? The shoemaker. Why when he said make shoes for 7 years, you started laughing? He says, Elmaleh, he told him, he's not even going to live for 7 days. He wants shoes for 7 years. He's not even going to live the week. He's looking for 7 years. What's he looking for? Why is it when you saw that you saw that he was doing all this magic, you started laughing? Elmaleh, he said, that he was sitting on top of the bet otzar of the melech. If he's such a good magician, look what's underneath you. Underneath you, you've got all the riches of the king. If the guy Bemet was a good witchcraft and he could have taken millions. What's he doing? All this hocus pocus. Check what's underneath you. Shlomo Melech left him there until he built the Bet HaMikdash. One day, Shlomo and Ashvedai were by themselves. Shlomo tells Ashvedai, it's written, Ketofot Rehem Lo. Ve'amrinam Ketoafot Elu Malechei Asheret. Rehem Elu Ashadim. Right? So Shlomo finishes, Man Revutaychu Minan. Right? Why is it that you guys are such greater than us? Elmaleh, he told them, Shekol Shushil Taminai, Vehavli Izketach, Ve'achvi Lach Revutai. He says, very simple. Take off my chains, give me your ring, and then I'm going to show you how I'm greater than you. Shlomo Melech did it.
Shlomo said that to him.
No, Ashmedai told it to Shlomo. Shlomo Melech did it. Shlomo Melech did it. He gave him a Shushil Tamineh, he gave him the ring, Bal'eh, he swallowed him up. Ot ve'lechad gape birkiya ulechad gape bareh. He put one of his knafayim in the rakia and one in the aretz, pat ke'arba me'ah parseh, and he threw Shlomo Melech 400 parsaot. He threw him away. What does that mean? He took him off from his throne. Right? He threw him out. Yeah, so he comes and he says, he threw him away. Alayi shata amar Shlomo, that's what Shlomo Melech went and he said, Ma yitron la'adam bechol amalo sheyamot tachat hashem. What does it help so much that you're building that you're doing tachat hashamash? You could build a palace, you could build a better, you could do whatever you want, but it's not going to help. What does he have? My veze. Rav Shmuel echad amar maklo, he only had a staff. Echad amar gundo only had his levush, his clothing. Either he had his staff or he had his clothing, but that's it. He didn't have nothing left. Remember, Shlomo Melech was the king of the entire world. He had everything. He used to go start asking for tzedakah. Anytime he went, he said, Ani Kohelet. I am Kohelet. Haiti Melech al Yisrael b'Yerushalayim. I was the king of Yisrael in Yerushalayim. When he got to the Sanhedrin, Amru Rabbanan, they said, he says, look at this shoteh. He doesn't even say, he keeps on changing. What's this? If Bemet is a shoteh, the way that he, so why is he saying the shtut that he was a Melech Yerushalayim? But he doesn't say anything else. But he's saying all the wisdom. But this is only shtut that he says. Amru le Benayahu, they told Benayahu, Kabay lach malka legabe, the king wants to see you. Amalu lo, shalchu lemalkevata. They went and they asked, Kate malka legabaychu, did the king come to you to have relations? Shalchu le in kati, he came. Shalchu lu, he went and they saw the chachamim bitku bekaret, check his legs. The shalchu le, they checked, bemuke kaate. He always comes with garbaim. Means he's coming very weird. What's going on? The katavu leuben idotayu. He's trying to have relations with them when they're nida. The katava nami lebatsheva ime. He even wanted to have relations with his mother, Batsheva. Yeah, atiu leShlomo. So they brought Shlomo. Behavu leisketa v'shushida b'chukol Hashem, and they put a tabat v'shushida Hashem Hashem chukol kiayim when Shlomo came into the thing, right? What happened is that Chazye, right, parach, and he ran away because of the pachad. And still, Shlomo was always afraid of Ash, meaning they actually understood what happened, right? Because once they saw that he was doing all these weird things, they knew it wasn't Shlomo Melech. So they brought Shlomo Melech back in, and then what happened is that again they were gonna, and he basically just like he ran off basically, but he was still afraid of him. I knew dichtiv, and that's why it's written in the pasuk. Rav Shmuel Chadamar says, one of them says Melech vehediot, ve'echad amar Melech vehediot umelech. Meaning there's a machloket. Listen to this, something incredible. Machloket between Rav and Shmuel. One of them says Shlomo Melech was a king, and then he became a hediot, and he never became a king again. Meaning he stayed a commoner, he never was able to come back. He stayed a commoner until he died. That's one shita, right? It says here for sure that Shlomo היה מלך בסוף ימיו, but the kavanah of the Gemara was שלא חזר למלוך על העליונים anymore. לא על העליונים. But the other one says, no, he was again the melech again on everything again. Okay? By the way, you could see everything to do with the Maharal. There's beautiful, the makel, the levush is a, siman. The makel is a misamel tuldan malchut. He lost entire malchut, and therefore he only has a malkel that they're able to listen to him. The levush was a siman muvhak, right? Shel hoda malchut, levush malchut. That's the clothing. The clothing is the tiferet, the splendor. Fine. Anyway, so you come. The bed of Shlomo Melech. There was always shishim geburim savila. There were always great warriors beside him. To defend them from Ash. So the truth is, though, we already explained it. We said that we say this in Kriyat Shema L'mitah. Why do we do this? Because immediately after you name Tatosh Shlomo, what do you say? After you name it Tatosh Shlomo, what do you say in Kriyat Shema L'mitah? Continue afterwards. Next. No!
ברכת כהנים.
ברכת כהנים. ברכת כהנים have 60 אותיות. הנה מיתתו של שלמה 60 גיבורים סביב לה, איזה ברכת כהנים. ברכת כהנים is שמירה on everything. It's so important to have כהנים. It's so important. People, they take it lightly. But why do you think that even if there's going to be ברכת כהנים, you go out of a shiur? You know what it is, ברכת כהנים? Right? Besides the fact that according to a lot of Shidduch Charedim and others, mitzvah to say doraita to accept the bracha as well, and only to give it. But let's say we didn't have Kohanim in the first minyan, you go out. Listen, Birkat Kohanim Shmira. I remember I was in Venezuela and my father-in-law came and they were learning Birkat Kohanim in the Kolel at that time, I'm talking about 16 years ago. And he went and he told me, as long as you have Birkat Kohanim every single day, you don't have to worry about the robbers and about this and about that. And you should know, Venezuela was, that's the way it is. Birkat Kohanim. Fine, says the Gemara.
The same thing of the man around.
Gemara. So therefore, the second shita holds no. He was a king, he became a hediot, and then he became a king again. Ledama dereisha. Now we're going back to all the refuot. Remember, this perek, right, is for the doctors. So there's going to be a lot of refuah here, and this is perek. Ledama dereisha. Somebody has blood kevrosh that comes because of blood. I guess it's too much blood pressure or whatever it is on the head. Lighty, what is he going to bring? He's going to bring tzmachim, different types of plants like shubina. It's type of cedar wood. Ubina, which is arava, right? How do you say withering? Well, arava. How do you say what we use on Sukkot? How do you say it in English? Yes.
Arava.
Willow branch. Willow. The asadra, that's hadasim. How do you say myrtle? No, myrtle. Hadasim. Hadas. Vezeita zait. Myrtle. Right? Zeita zait. Chilfa tzafzefa. It's another type. Okay. יש מצפצפים כל היום פה. לחילופי דיאמה, you got a צומח which is bosem. Diabla is another type. לשלוקינו בעד ידעי, you're going to cook them all together. ולינטול תלת מהקסה ההי גיסה דרישה, ותלת מהקסה ההי גיסה דרישה. Then you're going to pour 300 cups of this tarovet on each side of the head. Right? 300 on one side. Which one?
If he has fever?
No. I told you, he's got pressure from blood in his head.
Blood in the head.
You have blood in the head, so it's blood pressure.
That's what we do at the
yeah, exactly. And if not, right? You're going to bring a vered lavan, a white rose, right? That all of the leaves, right, is one above each other. meaning they're not equal. What about the lishlike? They're going to cook it. Then they're going to pour 60 cups on one side and 60 cups on the other side. Next thing, there's a cave on half the head. I don't know what this is called.
Migraine.
Oh, migraine. Yeah, migrena. Yeah, it says here. Right, so migraines. You're going to bring a tarnagola bar, a wild rooster. You're going to be shochet with a dinar of kesef tzaruf. That means you're going to sharpen the money and you're going to do the shechita with it on the side of the head which is bothering him, which is hurting him, in order that the blood will come on to him. But you have to be careful with the blood that it's not going to blind him. Because if the blood goes into his eyes, that's it. And then they're going to hang the tarnagol on the mezuzah, the petach of the house, that every single time he comes, he hits it. And every single time he scratches out, every time he comes in and out, he's going to see it. Okay, we finished.